Hey guys, welcome back. As always, it's Luthais, and yes, the reason why I say Luthais at the beginning of every video, guys, it's just so that you know how to pronounce it. Okay, a lot of people that don't know how to pronounce it, so instead of tongue-tying themselves, it's not Luthais or anything like that. It's Luthais, and yeah, just a bit of info there why I'm saying the name at the beginning of every video. Okay, especially I'm focusing on the new viewers, guys. I'm focusing on the new viewers and new players and the new guys coming into Miscreated. Okay, give me a break. Okay, like I said, today we're going to be focusing on the north side of Pinecrest, which is a great area for me, especially when I think back to my earlier days. There were a lot of times when I played on the first person only server, the UK one, and busy servers where I couldn't get any loot, and the towns were filled, with clone wars, nakeds running around, and the north side of Pinecrest and Pineparks was always my go-to place. It started to become a bit more populated at the moment. And of course I've gotten accustomed to my certain looting routes, but yes, the two places have got a very special place in my heart. And then what I'm showing you guys here, I'm just waiting for a nuclear winter storm to pass, and if mutants detect you, then point one, it's very bad for you, because if players notice it, they can focus the house that you're in. But what I found very interesting is that they've changed the UI. Not the developer themselves, there's a certain company that works with the AI, but they've changed the AI on various times. And I think when they just brought in the fact that the AI can lose you if you hide behind a wall, I thought that was quite entertaining. It wasn't perfect, but I mean, it was as close to perfect as I wanted it. At the moment, I think it's almost back to, I'm not extremely happy with the AI behavior at the moment, but I still find it entertaining that you can hide from them. Okay, if you don't make a sound, they'll give up. And yes, it's something that I focus on a lot, because I feel the AI, the behavior of the AI, and if the company that works on the AI, just does a few small tweaks, and just puts that hard work in, it can make a major difference to the game, and that's why I'm focusing on it. And yes, as always, coming in here with nothing, so already you can see it's got houses like any place, and it's got great loot spawns like most towns. But the great thing for me is that it's broken off and not very popular. Okay, so there's a few new players and hardcore guys that come here, but normally you'll have quite a solo battle or one-on-one battle, if I have to put it like that. There hasn't been many times where I've fought clans in Pineparks or the north side of Pinecrest. It's normally a one-on-one, which is quite nice. And yes, what I've basically just showed you here is that always take everything and turn it into a repair kit. There's a lot of times where you can pick up boots that you don't want, but if you turn it to a repair kit, that repair kit can repair your backpack, or your duffel bag or your rugged pack. So always play around with the repair kits, and it can make a major difference for the durability. And like I've said, when it comes to your head, and your chest, when it comes to anything that gives you protection, like your feet, any kind of protection against elements or damage, just make sure it's pristine. And of course, you can't put guns away in the kiosk that's not pristine. Another good reason. This little circle or dead end here, is my favorite spot in the north side because you got 4 big houses. And yes, what more do you want? 4 big houses where you can get onto the roof. And yes, guys, when you're looking through rubbish, don't look through every single black bag. Okay, like here I'm showing you this whole thing is one section. So learn to identify whether you have to go through specific items or just, an area of items. That's why I showed you that, it doesn't matter where I look what loot is in there, I'm still getting the same loot. So try and learn the assets that they use and try and learn what the assets look like so that you don't waste your time too much trying to look, at every single black bag, because you're going to waste a lot of time with that. And yes, these 4 houses are great because behind them they've got a underground shelter, which is always great for me, especially when I log out. I love logging out in a shelter. There's been times when it's been not that great, someone hiding in the shelter. So I wouldn't say it's my go-to place at the moment, but you guys know me, immersion, I'm always talking about immersion. So yeah, I don't really care if I die, I just want to live myself into the moment. And then yes, remember the previous video where I told you guys about the kitchen and why it helps jumping onto things and looking at the top. This is one of those times when it pays off. I mean, right through the series, you guys have seen me jump onto things constantly, looking over the top counters and probably thinking to yourself, why is he jumping on the stuff all the time? And that is why, guys. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I'll always look at spots which normally won't be in plain sight, because I want to make sure I don't miss anything and I want to live myself into the game. Okay, I don't want to just think about the loot spots that I've seen and then just go after that. Okay, because that's when it starts getting boring and one-sided. If you're doing everything like a robot, this is my loot spawns 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, go out of house. This is my loot spawn at the checkpoint 1 2 3 4 5 6. When you do everything like that and you don't search for something to spice the game up for yourself, like immersing myself into the game has always worked for me. And just exploring as much as possible, and trying to live myself into the game always works for me, and there's a lot of benefits to that. So yes, you've paid money for the game, you're spending your time in the game, so try and not focus on the base building that's not perfect, with things falling through the floor and all of that. It's like life. Don't focus on what's wrong. Okay? Focus on what's right. Like in your life, don't focus on you don't have enough money and you don't drive a smart car and blah 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 blah. Focus on what you should be thankful for, like breathing, having eyesight, which a lot of people don't, having all your limbs, not having a sickness that you were born with, or not having cancer, or having your children still alive, or still having your parents with you, or I can talk forever, guys. There's a lot of things to be thankful for if you focus on that. Okay, and it's normally what you focus on that influences you. So if you focus on the base building shit and things are, this is not right and that is not right and that is not right, you're not gonna enjoy the game. You're gonna stop playing. Okay, and unfortunately, if you think about focus on the negative things in life, every day is gonna be a terrible day, and you're not gonna want to get up, because again, you're doing that programmable situation for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, life sucks, you know, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Miscreated sucks, or another game sucks. It doesn't matter. Life, I don't really want to say this, but yeah, life is what you make of it. Miscreated is what you make of it. So while I'm looting, I'm going out and hunting wolves as well. Again, my food's at 50%, but that's not the reason. The big reason I want to see if the wolves animations have changed, and I want to hunt a bit. Now, on a full server, I probably won't do this, because ammo is very, very valuable. But on a low pop server, I've got more freedom. And I've heard people complain about, you know, low pop servers as well, or the game's dead. Yes, the game is not dead, guys. It's far from dead. There's a lot of things that even I'm not happy with, but again, I choose to focus on the things that I do appreciate. I look at where the game started, you know, 5 years ago and where it is now, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the time the developers have put into this game, and all the time they've spent away from their families, and I want to be that positive voice. I haven't always been that positive voice, you know, but I want to be a source of light, you know, in the darkness. There's not enough darkness in life, and, you know, people looking at the negative side of life. But I want to work on just, you know, shining a bit brighter. I'm not, you know, I'm not bright light at all, but I want to focus on being the positive factor in a situation instead of just, you know, adding to the problem. You know, people love jumping on a bandwagon. Like, for instance, sake at the moment with Captain Marvel. Yes, to be perfectly honest with you, it was, you know, it was a bit boring in the middle. But I was still entertained, okay? Whether I'm watch Avengers or any other movie. You know, Walt Disney movie with my son. Bruce Willis movie. You know, it doesn't matter what you watch, you're still entertained, okay? So it was still worth the price for me, and I can see how girls maybe enjoyed it more, you know. And it had a nice fundamental story of getting up, dusting yourself off. But again, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, okay? So I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm sure you guys get the point. Getting back to Miscreated, we're at Pineparks. And the reason why I like to cover the top of Pinecrest before I come to Pineparks is because you normally need ammunition or a way to defend yourself. So I hardly ever come here naked, you know, or fresh, because you have to have a weapon with you to just make your looting smooth. Okay, there's a lot of dogs, which is a great source of meat. There's a lot of mutants as well, and there's a lot of hiding spots. Okay, there's a lot of these trailer park camps where people are going to be looting and they're going to hear you coming, okay, because there's not a lot of space for them to be running around. Every single trailer park house is small, you know, so normally they're going to hear you coming at them. So when I die in these units, it's normally by someone waiting for me inside, and that's why I say always good to have something to protect yourself with. And again, like I say, there's dogs, and if you don't have a weapon with you, these are very irritating and can cause your, cause your death. I mean, right here in the starting area, we're sitting with two two two-headed dogs and a mutant. So you can imagine, you know, what you can run into. Make it 3 two-headed dogs and a mutant. So yes, you guys need something to protect yourself with. Okay, so just a hatchet or something. But just focus on that. Don't come here fresh. Try and do the north first, you know, or maybe try Brightmoor first before you come here, because those are basically the 2 closest points. And yes, there's a lot of times when you open a fridge and there's nothing in there. I almost got to a stage where I didn't open fridges at all, because I just, you know, it's normally rotten fruit or seeds or stuff like that, which I'm not interested in. But again, there are going to be times when you get that canned meat or those cans, you know, of drinks, which is going to help you. So yes, again, make sure you cover everything. Doesn't matter how repetitive it seems, you're going to get that one time, you know, where it pays off. Like I showed you with the top of the kitchen cabinets, where I found the DDMK18. So yes, Pineparks. A lot of the same houses. I feel it's very quick. The only thing that confuses me about Pineparks is that I get lost quite quickly. Like, you know, I'm bad with direction, so I don't know especially if all the doors are open, I'm like, have I looted here? And I tend to waste a lot of time in Pineparks. Here, what I'm basically showing you guys is that a rag gives you 20% healing. Bandage gives you 30% healing, but if you upgrade the bandage to antiseptic bandage, it gives you 40% health regeneration boost. Okay, it gives you a boost. And there's another medical guide that you can get. And yeah, I'm just showing you that when you're in battle and you leave your mouse on your bandage, then it's very easy to access your bandages. Okay, so if you go into your inventory, you don't have to look for your bandages. When you go out of your inventory, just keep your mouse on the bandage, so that when you go into your inventory, you can just access it very quickly. Didn't know that, so that's a tip I got from XR, one of the PvP YouTubers. He also said if you run and jump, you know, you can heal while moving. And yeah, credit to you, man. I just don't think about things like that, because I immerse myself in games. I don't really jump a lot, you know. I think to myself in real life, am I going to jump up and down when I'm in a gunfight? No, you know, I'm not. So yes, but I mean, all these things, you know, helps a lot, especially in PvP situations. And yeah, again, it can save your life, you know, so it makes a difference, even in a PvE situation. When you put yourself into, you know, a dangerous situation and you've got like 2 or 3 bleeding markers on you, it's nice, you know, to know that you can leave your mouse on your bandages and you're not going to get into an uncomfortable situation. And yes, needless to say, guys, you need a weapon when you come in here. Okay, we're just talking about the PvE side of it. Never mind the PvP. And yes, I love the places that has the SUV beside it, so I can get onto the roof and scope out my area, lie down on the roof, you know, and let them really shit in their pants if they're not focusing everywhere, because not a lot of people look at roofs. So yeah, you can give them a heart attack or 2. But as you guys can see, just by the north and Pineparks, which is fairly quickly to loot, there is some great loot. Okay, we've got AR with optic sight on, we've got a sniper rifle with a hunting scope on, which made it a great loot, you know, a loot route, because the north gave us the AR and Pineparks gave us the sniper with a hunting scope. And yes, if you look at the loot, it's the same as the big towns, but it's a much smaller area and a much safer area to loot, in my opinion. You know, which you guys should always think about. As I say, compare the risk to the reward, you know, and you'll get to an answer. And I must say it's frustrating running out of ammo where you're only fighting mutants. I mean, if you've been playing the game for as long as I have, you know, it just feels, even if you're just trying to enjoy yourself, it just feels like you've made a major mistake, you know, when you hear that click. It's like, really? Because you've set your mind to know that ammo is valuable, so you hardly ever try and waste ammo on mutants. But I try and change that because of the content that I'm making. And there, base traps 1, base traps 2, breaches 1, breaches 1, breaches 1, curved guide, electrical, gallows, and gatehouse. Then I've got medical. I've got quite a few medical guides, so that you guys can know. Like I said, if you guys can trade, guys, it's great. Melee platform, platform 2, platforms 2, which is great for building. Roofs guide, 3 storage guides, which is good. Tire stacks, not that important. Traps, and then traps 2. And then I've got 3 wall guides too, which is also very important. Okay, so you guys know what kind of guides I have. And yes, I don't want you guys just to, you know, Luthais, give me a guide, you know. I want you guys to search for the guides as well. So, you know, so I don't know, you're just not taking advantage of me. But in any case, guys, if you like this video, click the like button. And if you're new, click the subscribe button. And as always, just have a lot of fun. Cheers.